you will be required to do a large amount of reading for studies in the United States. Note-taking can help you remember what you read and save your time when you need to study. There are many different methods for note-taking, so it's important that you find the one that works best for you. In this class, we'll cover a few different ways, and we encourage you to try out each one. Regardless of the method that you choose for note-taking, research shows that handwritten notes are the most effective for remembering information. Now, with that in mind, let's begin by learning about the Cornell method of note-taking. The Cornell method is a simple yet effective way of organizing your notes. This is what the format looks like. On the left side, there is a column for cues, and on the right side, there is a notes column. Notice how it's twice the size of the cue column. This is because you'll write more information on this side of the page. At the bottom, there is a section for a summary. Now, in the cue column, you write key terms, concepts, formulas, or questions that will cue your brain to remember important details later on. Let's imagine you're reading a psychology text, and in the text you see the word psyche. This could be a keyword that you put in the cue column. But you might want to think of it in terms of a question. For example, what is psyche? That could be a nice cue because it's immediately going to help you think of the answer. So let's write the question in the cue column. Because I'm writing down notes, I'm not going to write the whole question. Instead, I'm going to write psyche, ? And I know that this means what is psyche. Now, in the notes column, this is where I want to write examples, details, and answers to my question. So in my notes column, I am going to write the information that I find in the text that answers my question, what is psyche? I'm going to write definition, soul, because psyche means soul. Now I have my cue that's going to require me to think of my answer, which is written in my notes section. Now I'm going to continue this process as I'm reading my text, writing my cues and my notes. When I'm finished with that process, then I will go down and write a 4 to 6 sentence summary so that I remember the main ideas of the text. This method of note-taking actually works quite well with the SQ4R reading technique that we learned about earlier. During step 4, respond, answer the questions that you wrote in the cue column. You should write your answers directly across in the notes column, very similarly to what we just did. Now later, when you are in the last step of the SQ4R, review, take your notes and fold your paper so that you can just see the cue column. Now use your cues and try to retrieve the answers from memory. If you need a little help, you can always go back to the answer section, the notes section of your notes. Try out the Cornell method for note-taking with your next reading assignment.